I'm Ryan Horn, trainer Steven.
Focus on it, Sean.
And we want to be your Potown heroes, your source for all your budget Pokemon needs. What is up, everybody, and welcome back to Potown Heroes, your source for all your budget Pokemon needs. I'm Ryan Horn, trainer Steven.
Focus on it, Sean.
And today we get to conclude part 2 of 3 of the breakdown of Lost Thunder, like the biggest set that's going to be coming out this time around.
Ever.
Our last video we covered Thunderspark. This video we get to cover the Fairy Rise version of it.
Which was the main set thrown into this set.
Which luckily this one's smaller, so it won't be as long as a video as the other two. But even then, there's going to be a lot of good stuff coming out of this. However, it's going to make up
for the last one, which is the main set.
Exactly. So now we'll go through the first half. Again, we're just going to go through, focus on the bigger cards, unless
there's something special.
Unless there's something special about the pre-evolutions. And right now, we start off with Tangrowth.
Tangrowth, I might be fine with.
Yes, it's 140 HP Grass Stage 1.
I'm not doing that second attack unless I can't heal that turn.
Oh yeah, Grass and a DCE. Robust Whip, 30 damage, and if this Pokemon was healed during your last turn, it does 130?
160, so long as it's healed. But there's certain cards in the set that make it easier.
Well, consider the fact right now,
Gardenia?
Yeah, Gardenia easily.
You remember that Manaphy that came out in Shining Legends?
Yeah.
There's a grass version of something that does the same thing in this set.
Oh, of course there is.
This also comes with a stadium. To help him out too. So he is healing every turn so long as you hit him.
160 at a choice band, that's 190.
The other attack is just in case they never actually swung at you.
But even then, choice band, that's 190. That's
taking out all the GXs.
That's
the basic ones, not including like Celestelia and.
Even then, that's a big push.
Oh,
and then for 2 grass, 2 colorless, Whip Smash for 110. Yeah, the first attack is definitely going to be the better one on this.
That will be shown on the channel because that is actually one of the hype decks. Like more of, we had to do Sceptile. We'll go back to Grovyle because Grovyle will make the deck.
Well, first off, we're going to go over Grovyle because that's going to be like the main one. Because Trico. Grass energy, search your deck for a grass Pokemon, reveal it, put it into your hand.
Maybe.
It's not bad, but
it's either that or the 70 hit one. It doesn't matter of whether you want to use Elm or not.
Exactly.
And truthfully, I'd rather use Elm in this deck because I want to get as many Tricos out as possible.
Yeah, so now we'll go over the Grovyle. Sunshine Graze. Once during your turn before you attack, you may search your deck for a grass Pokemon, reveal it, and put it into your hand, then shuffle your deck.
Does that remind you of any Pokemon?
It reminds me of Shinosik.
Yeah. Or Gabite?
Yeah. So
it's Gabite for grass Pokemon. And it's the exact same hit points, it just turned grass.
You could almost run this in Baby Sceptile. Just because
you will be running in Sceptile. You will be taking one or two of those Sceptile in here.
Oh yeah, easily.
Well, because you got help too.
And then 2 grass, Splicing Blade, 40 damage. Definitely not bad.
It's not the main attack, it's the ability you want.
Yeah.
That's gonna make this deck.
So next up we have Sceptile GX.
And he's every bit as fast in the trading card game as it looks as he is in the video game.
Well, let's see how brutal this thing's going to be. It's a 230 Grass GX stage 2.
I'm glad it has 230 because it gives him a soft spot.
It does. So 1 grass, Mach Cut, 60 damage, discard a special energy from your opponent's active Pokemon. That is going to be huge.
Bye-bye Zoroark.
Goodbye Zoroark. Goodbye Buzzwole.
Turn 3, you're actually a main threat to Zoroark.
Turn 2 if you got a rare candy, but then.
You probably do, 2 rare candy in the entire deck because your Grovyle are going to set you up.
Pretty much. So 60, discard special energy. Goodbye Beast Energy. Goodbye Unit Energies. Any other special energies other than DCE.
I can see like a splash of 2 rare candy mainly for when you lose a Grovyle or you have one prized.
Yeah.
You don't want to miss that chance to evolve.
And now here's where we get into some really fun stuff. 2 grass energy, leaf cyclone, 130 damage, move a grass energy from this Pokemon to one of your benched Pokemon.
Look at its retreat cost.
1.
This will not be hard to get going.
Oh no, you could literally 130, move 1 to the next one.
In a perfect game, you should be able to get all 4 Sceptile out turn 3.
Oh yeah, and you can just keep bouncing back and forth.
If you go first turn. I mean, yes, you'll probably be running Lily, Elm. Next turn, Grovyle. Next turn, Sceptile. You got 3 Sceptiles going, which is all you really need Because you go more if they go through 3 Septal, they won.
Pretty much.
So.
And then its GX is 1 grass, Jungle Heal GX. Heal all damage from each of your Pokemon that has any grass energy attached to them.
So
that is really good.
A good thing that what's this Rayquaza wasn't a only grass or lightning.
Oh.
Because you imagine if Rayquaza was colorless energy for it and it actually counted for grass lightning or lightning, that would be broken.
That would be very broken.
We'll touch on the Silcoon a little bit, only because it has the exact same attack as Cascoon.
Yeah, but it's still a really good attack. A colorless energy.
So you could choose Silcoon route, or you could choose Cascoon route. But I think you're going to do Cascoon route more because, well, Dustox is finally better than Beautifly.
Well, we'll take a look.
In most cases.
We'll see what the Beautifly does, and we'll go from there. But either way, same attack. Search your deck for 4 of any combination of Silcoon and Cascoon. Put them on your bench. You can still run pretty much 1 Wurmple and be good to go.
Its energy is amazing for it, though.
Yep. So now we have Beautifly. So for a colorless energy skill dive, it does 50 damage to one of your opponent's Pokemon, which isn't too bad, considering the fact Garchomp...
And that Dustox?
Yeah, because Garchomp has the same energy, so it's just literally...
Double colorless, 1 energy attachment for 50.
Yeah, so 1 for 50 instead of 2 for 50.
And what's nice about this is that you're using the Dustox, probably. The Dustox will put things in range.
And then you can just clean up house with this.
And you just bench a Dustox and hold them there while putting 30 on them every turn, in between turns.
Yep, so let's see. Grass, Butterfly Edge, 30 damage. If your opponent's Pokemon was knocked out by damage from this attack, prevent all effective attacks, including damage done to this Pokemon during your opponent's next turn.
So outside Guzma, you're just keeping that. And you can retreat out next turn, too.
Well, if you set it up right, especially with enough damage spread, finish for 30, 60 with Choice Band.
Spread. And in fact, you're getting a good healing in this set. So for Grass Pokemon.
So yeah,
that's one of the few things Grass Pokemon has always done is heal.
Very well.
Fairly cheap in most cases and heals a lot.
Yeah. So this will definitely. This has the potential for just complete shenanigans. I know we're definitely going to build something to it just because the shenanigans are too hard to resist.
It's too good.
It is way too good. So now we have Nincada and Ninjask. There's nothing big on Nincada.
And we'll come back. We will want to run with that Ninja.
Oh, yeah. So now we're going to look at Ninjask first. Ability Shed Shell. When you play this card from your hand to evolve one of your Pokemon during your turn, you may put a Shedinja from your discard pile onto your bench. That is really good, because I know Shedinja
came back with its classic ability. That's been a classic ability that Ninjask has had. Being able to call out Shedinja to the field.
Well, considering the fact that one is the same.
Shedinja has almost always had the better effects, which is still proven to this day.
And now for 1 energy, it does 40 damage. Flip a coin. If heads, it does 40 more. So 80 for 1, that's not bad.
No, and if you get heads, Choice Band, you're one-shotting anything weak to it. And if you're not, you're one-shotting anything that's non-GX that are weak to it. So, yeah, it's good.
So now we'll just need to see what the Shedinja does, and we'll go from there. But now we'll look at Combi real quick. 40 HP basic, 1 grass energy. Search your deck for 3 Combi and put them on your bench. That's going to be really good. So now let's see what the Vespiquen does. 120 HP stage 1. 1 grass energy, Queen Command. 120 damage. If you don't have 5 grass Pokemon on your bench, this attack does nothing. Well, with 3...
Leafeon Vespiquen?
Oh, yeah, easily.
Actually, you don't want to do Leafeon because you want to have that one Eevee causing problems.
You could almost...
Wurmple.
Yeah.
And you're calling them out to the field.
Yeah, you pretty much could just
You'll be splashing this with part of the Wurmples.
Just splash this with the Wurmples or even the Cascoon and stuff like that.
To be fair, you probably won't be playing much with Combi. You don't want the Combi to stay on the field for very long. You want something with a higher hit point. Look at that hit points. 40?
Yeah.
On Combi. So you don't want his Combi staying on the bench for too long. You wanted them to evolve up. But I think this is going to be more of a tech in Beautifly, in Dustox, due to the fact that it hits so hard for 1 energy.
Although, You also could run. I think I got a couple ideas for this, so we'll definitely be revisiting Vespa Queen. I got some ideas in mind.
It does fit the theme.
I'm thinking love bugs.
Yeah. And we got the queen now.
We got the queen to go with it.
Yeah, the prince and princess. Now you got the queen.
All right.
Who's the king? Heracross?
we could probably figure something out. Now we got Shaman. 70 HP grass, basic. Ability Floral Hero. Once during your turn, you may heal 20 from your active grass Pokemon.
Yeah. Remember that Tangrowth?
Yep.
Yeah, you got a Manaphy now. And it's now Shaman.
You know, yeah. I hate the fact that that's going to be a deck and that you're going to run it. Tangrowth, I already know it.
Sceptile is going to probably splash 1 just because it does heal. And if it has to sit on the bench, why not? Best Green decks will probably have to have them. Just make sure they can heal off any damage that happen. If it's not 120, but to be fair, you're probably going to run energy control because you don't want your opponent just going, oh, cool, DC, one-shot. Yeah. If they one-shot, you're gonna probably enhance that or get rid of it so that it's gone forever.
So yeah, this will definitely be fun. And then a grass colorless ran for 30.
It's probably there for the ability.
It's going to be there specifically for the ability.
If you have to situational attack, but the only water Pokemon in the set. That's a first.
Well, and the Fairy Rise set part of the set.
But to be fair, it's a water. What set hasn't really had much water in the set? Or ice to begin with.
Yeah, that's true. But we got Alolan Vulpix, 60 HP water, secret shortcut. If you have any fairy Pokemon in play, this Pokemon has no retreat cost. Good. It already has a 1, so it's really good. And then DCE, Gnaw for 20.
So basically, they just swapped the beacon for an ability.
Yeah.
To be fair, you will be playing both in the same deck. Free retreat versus calling out Pokemon. I mean...
Yeah, this one's going to be more a very specific use.
I mean, there's a friend of ours called Tobo, Charles. He has meant, I agree with him that Beacon Vulpix after a couple of turns is just... It's in the road. It's in the way. Because unless you get evolved to Baby Ninetales, it's really not doing much in the deck. Overall, I think the Roar Vulpix is the best overall in terms, other than Grand Pokemon, it's the best mechanic on the field because you roar and your opponent has to always choose a new Pokemon. Always isn't the best idea, but just preventing setup.
Yeah, so this might see play definitely in fairy decks, but I don't know.
You will be playing it in the deck it goes with.
Yeah, it probably makes sense. It's probably going to be the Fairy Alolan Ninetales, which I need to know.
I think it's really good.
I think so. So now we're at the Shedinja. Now we get to see what kind of shenanigans this has in mind. Once during your turn, you may discard all cards attached to this Pokemon and attach it to one of your Pokemon as a tool card. If the Pokemon this card is attached to is knocked out, your opponent takes one fewer prize card.
Life Dew has an ability. And I did mention this, and good thing Puzzle was banned. You can actually produce an infinite loop as long as shy of a field blower. Your opponent literally has to have field blower as a Rosig to stop it.
Yeah.
To gather prizes. You can literally do a cycle of Revitalizer, which is a grass Revitalizer, and a couple of these in the discard. You just go hit Ninkata, Shed and Ninja's got a different one. Hit Shedinja, put it on, keep going, put on the active one. Rinse, lather, repeat until your opponent's at it. You basically stall Ninjask.
Yeah, and
Puzzle's gone. That route's out because the whole point of the deck was to make sure your opponent never drew a prize.
This is definitely a more hilarious version of if you guys remember our first Gorguys video, Klefki.
Yeah,
you get to turn it into a tool and put in it. Even then, this is something that you can easily bring back with Rescue Stretcher.
Put it on Gorguys. It's the only tool that stays on the field because they don't get a prize out of Gorguys.
Yeah.
It's the only tool that doesn't go away.
But even then, Rescue Stretcher...
you do have to watch out for that Oricorio, though, because you're putting extra Pokemon in the discard.
Even then, I can still find some shenanigan ways to use this,
and what's nice, even though it's an ability, once it's on the Pokemon, it's now a tool, which is field blowable, but that's really the only way.
But if you're getting a knockout, and even if they do field blower it, they take a prize. This is still going to be fun shenanigans. Even if it's something where you're going to knock it out next turn when you attack,
Yes.
they don't get the prize for it.
Yes. You just had to make sure it's not the only Pokemon left.
You attach this on a Geodude GX. You're now giving up 1 prize instead of 2 to get 5 energy.
Golem GX.
Not gold. No, Electrode.
Electrode, yeah.
Yeah, you pop it, get 5 from your discard.
Yeah, they only get 1. Anytime it's knocked out. Doesn't matter if your opponent did it or not.
So yeah, there will definitely
It can be knocked out by
shenanigans.
poison. It can be knocked out anyway.
Oh, let's at least look at its attack. Colorless, Haunt, put 3 damage counters on your opponent's active.
Not bad.
It's not bad.
It's probably going to be used for that Life Dew ability.
Yeah, because Life Dew was really big when it was standard.
Yeah,
it's still really
big.
It's still big
big
expanded.
It's still big and expanded.
So bringing this back into standard, it will get abused, and we are definitely
kind of
building a
brought
deck
back
around it.
Sableye. Sort of.
And now we got Sableye.
It will force and Judge plays.
Easily. So we got 80 HP, 80 HP grass base or psychic basic, colorless energy, fast hunt. If you go first, you can use this attack on your first turn. Search your deck for 1 card and put it into your hand, then shuffle your deck.
Game-changing card.
Very much a game-changing card.
If we were gonna play this in like Metagross, the Metagross Stevens, search out a Stevens. I mean, they get to see what it is. No, they don't. They don't get to see what it is because it's any one card. It's any one card.
Yeah, any one card. So that's not bad.
In that deck, I'd probably go right for a Stevens.
Oh yeah, easily.
Or right, depending on opening hand, probably right to a Candy.
And then for 1 psychic energy curse drop, put 3 damage counters on your opponent's Pokemon any way you like.
You're gonna find out this comes up a lot in this set. This is the other archetype in this set.
Is put 3 damage counters?
No, curse. The curse effect of putting down cards across everything.
All right. Next up, we have
This
Giratina.
is probably the most hyped thing in the set.
Yes, easily. So it's 130 HP basic. We have its ability, Torn Door. Once during your turn, before you attack, if this Pokemon is in your discard pile, you may play it on your bench, then put 1 damage counter on 2 of your opponent's bench Pokemon. That is really good.
And you notice it's not a Prism Star.
Yeah.
That means you're going to run 4 of them.
Uh-huh.
That's 80 damage is coming into play every turn, so long as you knock it out. There's a card in this deck that'll help speed that up.
Oh,
Do you remember a Gardevoir Despair?
Okay.
Discard all 4. All 4 come back. Discard all 4. And you're adding 80 damage to the field every time it happens, every turn. So you're putting things in range of Despair, right? And you're one-shotting and everything comes in.
Wow.
And to be fair, it wasn't me that got at the deck idea. It was the Walsy.
And indeed, I can. There's definitely going to be some
Shout out to the
shenanigans in
Walsy.
it. So yeah, shout out to the
I mean,
Walsy.
he's already done that. He's already done the deck, or the idea when this is being dropped.
So yeah, I'm pretty sure we're the last of the party to overhype this, but even then,
He is.
okay, hush. Now 2 psychic and a colorless, Shadow Impact, 130 damage. Put 4 damage counters on one of your Pokemon.
Attack is not bad either.
Yeah, but put
This
4
is
damage
good.
counters on one of your Pokemon. Pair that with.
Oh, okay, you're a Pokemon, yeah.
It's going to be risky, but I think we can find a use for it.
I think Muck's going to be required to counter this deck. And now you won't be able to call it back from the discard.
Pretty much. And one we were actually talking about for a long time.
When we were doing the Mr. Mime video, or when we were doing the last type video, this just dropped. Sigilif.
Yes.
Parish does the exact same thing.
All right.
Almost.
So let's go over the basics first. It's 170 HP Psychic Basic GX. Its ability. If this Pokemon is your active Pokemon and is damaged by an attack of your opponent's GX or EX Pokemon, even if this Pokemon is knocked out, put damage counters on the attacking Pokemon equal to the number of damage done to this Pokemon.
250? They take 250.
So yeah, you end up getting hit for 250. You get knocked out, but you also hit them back for 250. Yeah.
Remember that shit ended in the same set? They get 1 prize. They get 2. Cool.
But even then, there's going to be a lot of good fun plays with that.
And this is just janky enough for us.
Or it did up. No, never mind. Can't do that.
But now let's actually look at its attacks to see if it's just an ability or if the attacks will actually do anything. A Psychic and a DCE, Sonic Wing for 80 damage, and it's unaffected by resistance.
If they have weakness, Choice Band, you get rid of a Pokemon that's a nuisance.
Yeah, so it's definitely not bad. And then its GX is a Psychic and a DCE. Intercept GX, 60 damage, and it does 60 damage times the number of energy attached to your opponent's active Pokemon.
So it's a supercharged Psychic attack.
It's definitely...
Instead of 60 plus, it'd be 60. It's just 60 times.
Yeah, so it's definitely going to... This would definitely one-shot a Guzzlord, considering the fact they're having to put on much energy.
5 energy.
Minimum.
So that's 300. They're hitting him before, minus resistance.
Yeah, but outside of that...
And its retreat cost isn't too much of a nuisance, because you're probably going to be running in a deck that runs Alter anyways.
Exactly.
You're probably going to run the one Psychic energy, so you can at least get the free retreat anyways. And Lightning Weakness before was kind of good, but with
all the stuff you saw,
Spark, I don't think it's going to be a set we're going to be... Lightning's not going to be staying quiet for long.
Something tells me we're mostly going to see it for the ability, a lot like Mr. Mime.
It's going to be a stall-worthy deck.
Very much so.
It has 4 strings.
And then next we have Yonmask. There's nothing... Wait, what? Okay.
Haunt is going to be the...
So it's a 70 HP basic. For 1 energy, put 1 damage counter on your opponent's active. I am looking at this, though. WPM note. Why so many Haunt attacks in this set? Could a Night March of Haunt attacks be coming? No. No. Night March can stay and expanded. We do not want that back.
Look at Confagorous.
Evolves from Yonmask. Okay, so let's look at... Ooh.
It's good.
120 HP Psychic Stage 1.
They had to tone it down somehow.
So, Psychic Colorless, Soul Juggling, 10 damage plus discard as many of your bench Pokemon as you like. This attack does 30 more damage for each bench Pokemon you discard.
Giratina?
One.
Discard 4?
Does that go into Evolved as well?
1, stay out of my head. 2, that's going to be a deck. 3, we're running it.
However, we're going to run it the jankier version because guess what? Nobody's going to run it.
Oh, no. I mean, literally, this is
repeat.
This is going to be brutal.
Too bad Despair Ray just rotated.
Oh, I'm glad it rotated now.
Despair Ray is now expanded problem now.
Oh, yes. But yeah, this...
By the way...
This Giratina is definitely going to be a deck.
Is attached to almost the exact same Pokemon as before.
Almost. So next up, we got the entire, we got the Chandelure
line. 2 of them come with Haunt.
So yeah.
To be fair, I think Chandelure should have had Haunt as well, just keep the theme going.
So yeah, Litwick, Psychic Haunt, put 1 damage counter on your opponent's active. Lampet, Psychic, put 3 damage on an opponent's active. And now to Chandelure. We've got 140 HP Stage 2.
It's pissed off. 1
Psychic, Curse Drop, put 4 damage counters on your opponent's Pokemon and your enemies in any way you like.
Why not?
I've gotta love Pokebeach's little add-ins to it. And then 2 Psychic, Spiral of Pain. I hope they keep the name. I doubt it, but I hope they keep the name. It does 20 damage times the number of damage counters on all of your opponent's Pokemon.
After everything you just did, this is the backup attacker that's waiting for all the damage to stay on their field.
Yep.
We have to be careful, though. They're the card of the next set. We want to be careful of the damage, how much damage we're spreading across their field. Because some decks might want it.
Oh, I know we're going to want a couple of them.
Meloetta is... I love the idea.
So, let's see. We got 80... Or it's an 80 HP Psychic, Psychic Basic. 1 colorless Sing. Your opponent's active is now asleep. Psychic and 2 colorless Miracle Harmony. Flip a coin for each of your Pokemon that have the Sing attack. This attack does 10 damage times the number of heads to each of your opponent's Pokemon. To each of your opponent's Pokemon? Yes. Okay. So
you gotta find out. I think there's a Jigglypuff in the set that does it too.
If I remember it, yeah, there's a Jigglypuff with Sing. This
that kind of does stuff. Everything has Sing.
What?
That's standard.
So yeah, we'll definitely take a look at that. This might be a fun jank deck we're gonna test.
It sounds like a one-sided Tyranitar.
Yeah,
where you put the coin flips on their side, but it's for Pokemon you have Sing. So
Now
you have 4 or 6, you have 6 dice that goes. That's how much damage goes across their field.
Well, now hold on.
You gotta be careful though. If you hit
Flip a coin for each of your Pokemon that has a Sing attack. It does 10 damage times the number of heads to each of your opponents.
Each.
Okay.
So you can literally, theoretically, you can do up to 6 across their field.
Which now makes me want to wonder a question. Flip Teeny. You get to reflip an attack. You flip.
So if you do the 6 and you end up with 2, reflip it, see if you can get 3 or 4.
You want to get 6 if you had the Victini out. The most you'd be able to get is 5. Now it's flip a coin for each that has Sing. The question is, do you flip all 5 at once and then you reflip those 5, or do you get a flip for each?
You're doing that coin flip and you're doing it for each one. I probably wouldn't do Victini for like stuff like Tyranitar because that'd just take too long.
That would take way too long.
I would play Tyranitar if you're really playing a stall deck because attack takes so long to execute. I mean, if you're going to play a stall, run Tyranitar because the attack takes so long to execute.
But we'll definitely workshop this deck because this is definitely hilarious enough that it might work.
We'll keep in mind how many Pokemon Sing other than this set exists because I think Jigglypuff's the only other one that has it in the set currently.
Oh, even then, I know there's more in Standard.
Well, I know there's more, but just in the set alone, I think there's 2 Pokemon that have Sing alone that we know of.
Yeah. So next up, we have the Fairy Alolan Ninetales. 200 HP Fairy Stage 1. Mysterious Guidance. When you play this card from your hand to evolve one of your Pokemon during your turn, you may search your deck for up to 2 item cards, reveal them, and put them into your hand, then shuffle your deck. It is good if you're running a Fairy...
part of the set to help speed that up.
Well, the thing is, if you're running a Fairy-focused deck, this is definitely going to be the route you're going to want to go.
Yes.
Any other deck, I would highly suggest running the Raticate.
To be fair, I want to run this with Rotom.
Run this with Rotom?
Mm-hmm. And the only attack energy in the deck is for it to attack. It's for this to attack.
All right, so let's see. Oh,
he's curious now.
A Fairy and a colorless Stormy Wind, 70 damage. It does 30 damage to one of your opponent's bench Pokemon. That's not bad. And then its GX attack is it's a Fairy and a colorless. Sublimation GX. If your opponent is active as an Ultra Beast, it is knocked out. Yes. So, Guzzlord,
just keep in mind that Zeep Striker from the last set, and we're going to be pairing with this. Or Tourist.
Oh, I already hate where you're going with that.
There's a card in the set I love.
I don't even know what the card is, and I already hate hate where it's going. All right, so next up, we have a Jigglypuff with Sing. DCE.
As of right now, that's the only Pokemon in the set that sings, so that would be the other Pokemon in the set would sing.
Yeah, but we'll definitely take a look.
So far.
So now we've got Wigglytuff, 120 HP Fairy Stage 1. We've got double colorless energy, inflate, 30 damage during your opponent's next turn. This Pokemon takes 30 less damage from attacks from your opponent's Pokemon. That's not bad.
This will be a Pokemon that you'll be probably dedicated in a non-GX Shrine of Punishment deck.
Oh yeah, easily. Because now we got Fairy, DCE, Discorded Step, 70 damage, plus if this has a Fairy Charm attached to it, it does 70 more.
So 140.
Plus the effect of the charm.
You won't need it, but you still want the other one just for damage range. But
yeah,
you'll see that on the channel.
All right, so yeah, we will run Wigglytuff. So next we got Ralts. This one I'm going to throw out just because it might see some play, but not a lot.
However, there's a card explosive impact that 50 hit points is now pretty much out of the picture unless there's no other option.
Right, but in terms of play, this one's going to see
that is overall
very
the best Ralts, but it's on a 50 hit point Ralts.
Yes. So 1 Fairy energy, put a supporter card from your discard pile into your hand. That can be big.
And without the namesake supporter that came with Ralts, you remember who it was? He's now banned.
Yeah.
Wally. This would be really good with Wally because you can skip that 50 hit points, go right to an 80 hit point.
Easily.
But thing is, 50 hit points are pretty much a no-go unless you have no other option.
And then we've got double colorless energy B for 20. But that beacon, it's definitely going to be more for Gardevoir specific decks,
I would
maybe.
probably run a 1 and 3 because that one, if it leads, it's still really good. You can call yourself a supporter.
Yeah.
Call yourself your Cynthia. If you have a crappy hand, tourist.
Yeah. This
Want to
will,
sell the large hand, copycat.
this one will definitely be more Gardevoir specific because of the fact, well, if you're running it, you
Well,
might
if
as
you
well
see
run
the
Gardevoir.
Gardevoir is just a beefier version of it.
All right, well, let's take a look. We got 130 HP Stage 2 Fairy, 1 Fairy Energy Brilliant Search. Search your deck for 3 cards and put them into your hand. So it's actually a cheaper... No, it's about the same cost
It's
as
stage 2 equivalent of...
Sylveon.
Yeah.
And then we've got a Fairy 2 colorless Sensitive Ray, 70 damage. If you play the supporter card from your hand this turn, does 90 more damage.
This is the card I was going to run with Bennett. Gardevoir Bennett, because I am forcing myself to play more supporters, and I hit harder because I do it.
And then if you need the Psychic Weakness, Bayonet, boom.
Plus supporter effect. This deck will probably run 3 Kukui.
So depending how big the meta ends up taking over this card, we will feature it on the
Being
channel.
the fact that Fairy is on a rise, no pun intended. Oh, pun intended this time, but...
Alright, so next up we have Dedenne. 70 HP Fairy, 1 Fairy
I
Energy
love these kind of
Static
effects
Touch.
now.
I know, they're starting to get
If
more
heads-
fun. So if heads, your opponent's active is now confused. If tails, your active is paralyzed.
It's not there for the damage,
pun
it's there
intended.
for the confusion or paralysis. I'd rather paralyze, but confusion still, they have a high retreat cost, and with Floatstone gone, there's no easy way to get out of confusion other than switch.
Well, the thing is chances are we're going to paralyze if we have a Dedenne. You've seen our channel, right?
Yeah,
What's our number 1 result?
tails. That's why Licky works.
That's exactly why Licky Licky worked, is because we wanted the tails. This may be another one of those cards. We're okay with the tails.
Carbink might be a card of mine for Marshadow.
Maybe. So let's see. We've got a
For that
90,
first attack.
So we got a 90 HP Fairy Basic, double colorless energy, Wonder Ray. 30 damage, prevent all effects of attacks, including damage done to this Pokemon by attacks of your opponent's Pokemon with abilities during your opponent's next turn.
How many abilities are active right now?
Several.
Lots of them. What is the one of the few cards I mentioned might get really, really good right now, depending how many abilities you use?
Weavile.
Yeah, both of them.
So
Because one hits 60 per ability, so long as you're not playing very many abilities, or they're coming to play abilities, so you don't need them right away. Have fun. You're doing 60 across their field. You gotta be careful because there's a new card that might love it.
well, even then, 60 HP or 60 damage to everything. Worst case
Or
scenario,
50
retreat to this.
Or Dark Energy 50 times ability. So, and there's no ability lock anymore, really? No dependable ability lock other than Muck.
Yeah.
And that only affects basics. A lot of the abilities have been on stage 1s. Stage 2s.
Yeah, so this will definitely be more of a wall with a Weavile
I
deck.
want to run it with, let's say, Marshadow. Yeah, you can't touch me with abilities. If you have an ability, you can't touch me.
Although it
You can't touch me. You can't touch this.
has an ability, maybe it's
Marshadow can't, with Marshadow, as long as they have an ability, you can't touch you.
We'll definitely have to workshop
Marshadow
this.
box will be, I like Marshadow box. It's just janky enough to work,
We'll definitely workshop this.
and it's all about the effects of attacks.
Oh, the second attack is a Fairy double colorless power gem for 60.
It's like, cool.
You're going to use the first attack, let's be honest.
Yeah, but I was like, cool, you got Shred. What if I want you to hit me? What if the only way to hit me is Shred?
Yeah. So next up, we have our second Prism Star. First was Ditto.
Basic, yeah.
So now we got 160 HP Fairy basic Prism Star. You can't have more than one. So its abilities: Life Road. Once during your turn before you attack, if this Pokemon moves from your bench to be your active, you may move any number of energy from other Pokemon to this Pokemon. So it's Coco GX for Fairy.
Yeah.
And then
However-
3 Fairy Bright Horns, 160. It can't use Bright Horns next turn.
And it's any number of energy, but you will be able to Fairy dedicated because it's energy cost.
This will be a staple in Gardevoir.
Be stable in any Fairy deck that has the room for it.
Exactly.
Because it's a one-of grab energy off your other stuff. and it hits 160 coming out. So it's not a bad attacker. It's not a bad Pokemon. The issue I'm seeing is the fact that a lot of your scoop up cards require damage beyond. Yeah, Acerola. And if you have the Gardevoirs, they can just put them all back down and do it again.
Let's just be glad that this isn't.
I'm glad it's a Prism Star.
Yeah.
Not because you could just play two of them and rinse, lather, repeat.
I was actually just getting ready to say that.
Coco Chain with 160 hit point Pokemon, basic Pokemon.
That would be broken. Next up, we got Kitty Fly, nothing big. Rabombi. This might see some play. So as long
every
as
fairy deck will be playing at least a 1/1 of this.
So 60 HP Fairy, Stage 1, Mystic Buzz. As long as this Pokemon is on your bench, whenever your opponent plays a supporter card from their hand, prevent all effects of that card done to your Fairy Pokemon in play.
Good game.
So, no Guzma.
If you're playing a heavy dedicated fairy deck, Guzma's out. You had to play Escape Rope, and I'm not giving you this. This is safe on the bench. Unless you're playing Slaking. Slaking is the only way to shut it off.
And then
you can Guzma it up and slap it off the field, and it's gone. But you're going to do all that dedication, knock out a 60 hit point Pokemon, versus the Gardevoir that was just in the active, when it's the Pokemon you want to hit.
So this would stop Cyrus, this would stop Guzma, it would stop Lysander and Expanded.
It would stop Cyrus to Pokemon that are Fairy, so basically he'll just pick two, and the only ones that get shoved back to the deck are the ones that aren't Fairy type. So it'll be the Lele's, there'll be the stuff they want back in the deck so they can grab it later and drop again.
To be honest with you, I don't even think with Guardy you would need a Lele, but you never know. The meta probably still will. You never know.
You'll be more dedicated towards Lele because now it's to fill in the gaps right now.
All right, so next up we got Sorosic, which
it's actually not.
It's 100 HP Fairy, Stage 1. Its ability is Effect Spore.
I like the attack.
All right, so let's one step at a time. If this Pokemon is your active Pokemon and is damaged by an opponent's attack, even if it's knocked out, the attacking Pokemon is now asleep. Paralyzed would have been better, but asleep is still pretty good.
I like sleep.
And then double Fairy, Dream Touch, 50 damage. If your opponent's active is asleep, your opponent shuffles all energy attached to their active Pokemon into their deck. That
is just janky enough and interesting enough to play with.
It might be very janky, just enough to work. So next up, we have Mimikyu, which wasn't this one of the promos for Japan a long time ago?
I think so.
I don't know,
but we finally got it, and it's a fairy type. I think the Psychic one's the promo.
Editor, double check that. I know there was a Mimikyu GX that came out. I don't know if it's this one or another one.
I think it's Rocket's Mewtwo that's in that one.
Okay, either way, editor, please double check for us.
Mimikyu, not Mewtwo.
So 170 HP, Fairy Basic, 1 Fairy Energy, Perplex. Your opponent's active is now confused. That's not bad. A Fairy and a Colorless, Cascading Barrage, 10 damage, plus 30 more damage for each damage counter on your opponent's active Pokemon.
Can you imagine this if it were Psychic type?
Oh, that would be just brutal.
Goes in, you can splash it, you can just keep the energy type, and how much damage you're putting across their field? And you just go, man, knockout.
And then for 1 Fairy, Dream Fear GX. Shuffle one of your opponent's bench Pokemon and all cards attached to it into their deck.
Cool.
Although, Enter Portal, Enter Porter,
move energy, gone.
Yep.
Now they go find him again.
So this will definitely be very annoying, and I think we can come up with some annoying things.
Is just janky enough to. If it doesn't see much play, we will play around with it.
Well, even then, 30 more for each damage counter, so 3, 6, 9, 12.
Fairy damage, or fairy splashable with damage spread, as long as it's around a rainbow or unit energy.
Oh, we'll be able to figure something out. All right, next up we got Tapu Hee apparently. So we got another Tapu Lele, 110 HP, colorless, or Fairy
Lele.
And now we have an ability, Charm. Okay, once during your turn before you attack, if you attach Fairy Charm to this Pokemon, you may leave your opponent's active Pokemon confused.
It's so dazzling.
It's so dazzling. It's actually not too bad. And then we have Fairy and double colorless. Yep, and then Fairy double colorless. Magical Shot for 70 damage. Yep. Maybe she's born with it. Maybe it's Tapu Lele.
Yes.
Next up, we have Tapu PP, apparently. which is Tapu Fini. It's a 120 basic fairy. For a fairy and colorless, Dream Away, flip a coin. If heads, your opponent shuffles their active Pokemon and all cards attached to it into their deck. Mimikyu.
I am just glad that it was a 2-energy attachment, because right now it's virtually impossible to get that to work. Because
Counter gain.
you have to be behind on prizes.
Counter gain.
I'm saying for a turn 1,
Yeah,
you won't be able to do this turn 1 because there's no way right now to really do it anymore. Because to be fair, all the Pokemon you could do it would be, let's say, turn 2.
you never know.
I mean, to be fair, if they make it something that allows you to do it, and they find out this is a problem, all you need is a coin flip.
Whenever you attach an energy to a Pokemon, you can attach a second energy. That might be achievable turn 1. Maybe.
Turn 2, because that's still
two minimum.
That's still a stage 2.
Okay, then turn 2 minimum.
Turn 2, it can start really messing with people, and then one more fairy energy, you're...
And then for 2 fairy and a colorless, Wondershine, 100 damage, your opponent's now confused. I can see some shenanigan plays with Dream Away, especially with Victini.
Yes.
Yeah. So now the third Kecleon that we need. So we'll have all the Kecleons and we can finally build the deck.
This is probably the highest damage yielding portion.
Because double colorless energy, general
And
stop
because
for
fairy
60.
type can't be out of Guzma so long as Rainbow moves on the field. You guys all the fighting types, your Diancie, Dark. Well, Dark's really struggling outside of Zoroark, so.
Oh, we'll be.
I don't think Zoroark's Dark type, but he's really a colorless Pokemon in disguise. It's an illusion. It's that illusion, you know. He thinks he's a dark. She thinks he's a dark type, but she's not.
Yeah, we'll be able to do.
When's
some
the last time you
fun
saw
stuff.
a dark energy in Zoroark? When Baby Zoroark was played?
Do they put dark energy in
When
Zoroark?
Foul Play Zoroark was standard?
Even
that
then,
was the
they
reason-
go with Rainbow
Yeah.
most of the time. But either way, so Netball. Search your deck for a basic grass Pokemon or a grass energy. Reveal it, put it to your hand, shuffle your deck. That's actually not bad because it can search out an energy as well. So that might see a lot of play, especially in grass decks. Adventuring Satchel. Search your deck for up to 2 Pokemon tool cards, reveal them, put them to your hand, then shuffle your deck.
Remember Ninetales?
I remember Ninetales.
Yeah. Rotom might be teched into that deck.
I remember this would have helped Gorgeist.
I think in the future we might have a couple toolbox decks to be making.
Oh yeah, easily.
One of the deck's name is called the Mechanic.
Yeah, we could easily do that. Next we got Spell Tag. We got a new tool. If the psychic Pokemon this card is attached to is knocked out by damage from an opponent's attack, put 4 damage counters on your opponent's Pokemon any way you like.
Sigilyph?
So you're doing that plus 40.
Mm-hmm. So Buzzwole just swung for, let's say, resistance. Let's say they hit for 140. They get hit for 180.
Haunt is going to hurt this time around. That might be the next deck in big deck in format.
Spell Tag is good.
Very good.
Yes, it's in your opponent's control whether you get to keep it or not. Or maybe you're just scouting out field bowlers.
So next up we have Fairy Charm, but they all pretty much have the same attack.
In effect, just the symbol is the type it's resisting.
So we'll do this one first.
It has immunity too for damage.
All right, so we'll start with this one. Prevent all damage done to your Fairy Pokemon that has this card attached by the attacks of your opponent's Psychic, GX, and EX. They also have one for Fighting and Dragon.
And
this stops Rayquaza. This stops Buzzwole. This stops, Malamar, Necrozma.
I think there's another one in the next set.
It's possible. Now we got Morty. Now, if only
This
they
will
had
be
Rick.
seen play wherever Sigilyph goes.
Yes, indeed.
What's the most? Oh, okay, read it off.
First, let's read it off. All right, so you can only play this card if one of your Psychic Pokemon was knocked out during your opponent's last turn. Easy enough. Your opponent reveals their hand, choose 2 cards you find there, and your opponent shuffles them into their deck.
Psychic Chain Disruption. What's the most common Psychic Pokemon?
Well, you got Lele, you got Malamar.
What's the most Guzma target in Pokemon?
Lele. Yeah.
So, Lele, now play Morty. Your next turn, they just got rid of.
Yeah, well, the thing is you
So
play
they
it
just, if you don't have any energy, they just got rid of your draw supporter. They just shuffle your Cynthia back to the deck. Cynthia, Judge, Tate, Liza, Copycat, whatever. They just shuffle it back to the deck. It's gone now.
Oh, yeah.
And you got to go find it again. Sucks you just use the Lele to go get it.
Also sucks that you end up using the DCE in order to do that.
Remember that Sigilith? The whole point of Sigilith is to be knocked out.
So it gets knocked out. We send your next turn to the deck.
I got a janky deck in the making.
Of course you do.
I mean, if I'm not playing Flail, I'm playing Troll. So
True. Next up, we got Mina. You search your deck for a fairy energy and attach it to one of your Pokemon.
not bad. Right from the deck.
New Thought. Tapu Fini. Attach an energy. Mina. Attach a second energy.
Yes,
Send it active to the deck.
Yes, it's possible. That's why it's a coin flip.
Donk is Victini. You're almost guaranteeing the donk.
So Finny, Nest Ball in hand, and you get 2 chances to sweep game.
There's definitely going to be some cheeky plays.
Something tells me Finny's going to probably be a problem early out.
Oh yeah.
Not
easily.
to mention it has tools, so you can't, depending on what type you're using, you might not be able to touch it either.
Just remember, if you run Fini Donk, we called it.
Yes.
We called it first. Poketown Heroes, remember us. And next up, and then the last card of this set is Life Forest Prism Star. It's another one of those Prism Stars like the electric one last video. You can't have more than one of the same name in the deck. If it goes in the discard pile, lost zone instead.
So
Mangrove,
Sceptile.
Yep, so here's the thing. Once during each player's turn, that player may heal 60 damage and remove all special conditions from one of their grass Pokemon. Grass just got brutal with this.
It's gotten the one thing it does the most: healing. Basically got Center Lady as long as your opponent can't switch it out every game.
Exactly.
And Field Bar is the only stadium problem or solvable thing. Nope.
Yep.
And they need their own stadiums.
Yep. And then, of course, as long as this is in play, whenever a player uses an item or supporter from their hand, it prevents all effects done to this stadium. So you have to get rid of it with...
So I think the most common stadiums now are going to be traded in for as a counter to this. For a bit decks to splash 1 or 2 and just for the drop for these would be Lysander's Lab, Sky Pillar, and Shrine of Punishment.
Yeah, so this will definitely make the Stadium Wars really, really brutal again.
And stuff like Groudon is going, and that Kyurem, similar effects are going to see more and more play, especially they're splashable with their energy attacks like Kyurem
or Purugly.
Pure Ugly. You finally got a deck.
We finally got a deck for Purugly.
It happened to be against Prism Stars.
So yeah,
I
that.
think the colors one will be.
Oh, I have no idea.
Colors of Pokemon have always gotten either free retreat or increased hit points.
Hopefully they.
Slaking with increased hit points. Oh, God. Slaking with plus 50 hit points or something. Or does it a little damage out of it too? Because what's the one thing Colors Pokemon can't really do?
They really can't hit the numbers, and they're
or
definitely
hit for
not
weakness. They hit numbers. They can't hit for weakness.
Now, the thing is if they had it set up... Now, even if they had the stadium where all your Pokemon are weak to normal Pokemon, that would be hilarious.
Periodically just own the house.
Just own the house. But,
And is it periodically you may discard?
I believe it is a Yume.
Gyarados might have just gotten stronger, too.
Maybe.
What about Licky Licky?
It's like with more hit points?
Oh, that would just be brutal.
But yeah, this is Fairy Rise.
So this was the Fairy Rise set.
It's Grass and Fairy dedicated and a little bit Psychic. Well, the Curse.
And now be sure to join us for our third video where we go over Explosive Impact.
And to be fair, we're going at this blind because except for stuff that's been revealed a couple days ago, we know nothing about really anything so far.
No, so thank you for joining us for part 2 of the Lost Thunder hype.
Yes.
No, or is it Thunder Lost?
Well, Lost Thunder.
It is Lost Thunder. Okay. So thank you for joining us for part 2 of Lost Thunder. We're going to go into part 3.
And this one will be part of the longest one because it is the main set.
It is. So we're definitely going to be at it for a while. But either way, you guys take it easy. And as always, may all your games go well and may the top deck be in your favor. Till next time.